Alright, today we have a showcase of the rank 4 Overseer, and this guy I took to rank 4 a while ago, honestly. I think he was my 6th rank 4, and I have like 11 now, but I haven't showcased him yet, and I really, really like the Overseer. He's been one of my favorite characters, and it's not even just because of his, just because of his abilities, it's because of just like the character overall. Like, I love the Maestro, I like the story of the Maestro, and like this is him before he becomes like the all-powerful guy they have to fight in Act 4. So yeah, I really like the Overseer, and thankfully he's really good in the game as well. Like, I hope they did him justice, and they definitely did. But he's kind of like an underdog in my opinion, because when he first came out, people just expected way too much. I was just like, he's good, but people wanted like so much from him, right? And now that like the hype is kind of like died down a bit for like a playable Maestro, people like come to accept that he is a very good character. He's just not like really, really broken good, right? So what makes Overseer so good? For me, it's just because like, of course you have to talk about Human Torch, right? Human Torch is like dominating the science class, and the fights that Overseer is good at are fights that Human Torch can't really take too well, right? And that's why I like the Overseer so much, because he's not overshadowed by Human Torch. He has his own like standing in the science class. So that's why I like the Overseer so much, right? That's why I have both a rank 4 Overseer and a rank 4 Human Torch, because they work for different things. Like this Havoc fight, Human Torch could like get off 5% before he just like melts to death, right? Like, well, because of the node, he can do more damage, but still, Overseer is much better for this fight than Human Torch, and he has the objective in Eternity of Pain. So, like, Overseer is better for this fight than Human Torch. And speaking of this fight, we just plow through it, dude. Overseer is so good for this fight. This was like last week, I think. Right now, it's currently Nick Fury for the Eternity of Pain fight, which, by the way, he sucks. He is so annoying to fight. It's like just terrible nodes. But now we're going to go into Battlegrounds. Battlegrounds is, of course, probably the most meta content right now, just because the rewards are insane. Like, incredible rewards in Battlegrounds. And so you want to have like the best characters pretty much. Well, you ideally want the best characters. For me, I just like to pick who's fun. Like, I have so many 565s on my deck just because they're really fun. Like Spider-Man Supreme, Spot, Valkyrie, Gore, you know, those guys. But Overseer is one of my key players because he's just so good. He's so fast, right? Especially when he can take advantage of his signature ability. Like, he becomes so much better there. Like right here, this is a fight where you use his signature ability to his like advantage, right? Because he's just gonna inflict so many poisons on us, and we're immune to the poison. So we're just gonna ramp up super, super fast. And that was like a 35-second fight, I believe. Absolutely incredible. And now we have this man thing. Thanks to my friend Spood for helping me out with this. This is his man thing that I'm fighting against. Another fight where Overseer, you want him to be awakened here, because every time a Nullify fails to trigger, we get a Gamma Power. Every time his poisons fail to trigger, we get a Gamma Power. And it's just a very, very good matchup for the Overseer, because he can ramp very, very fast. So this fight is really, really short. It just depends on how stingy the Man-Thing is with his special attacks, which he isn't too stingy, so that's good. And additionally, Spooder is running MD, right? So MD is good for the Overseer. Like, I know MD sounds bad at first for like most champs, but it's actually good for the Overseer, because every time the opponent goes over a bar of power, you get a Gamma Power. So the more power that they get, the better. Like, you want them to have a lot of power gain, because you can just ramp up really, really fast. And that was an incredible fight as well. That was like 44 seconds, which is great for a Man-Thing. And then last but not least, we have Dr. Doom. This is a rank 4 Dr. Doom. Doom, of course, really, really scary. And then you add the note that's going on this week, and it's even more scary, because he has like plus 350% critical damage rating, and he can strike crits into your block, and he has block penetration. So it just doesn't equal really well, right? So with Dr. Doom, you want to bait out the SP1, because if he tries to nullify your dexterity, you'll get a Gamma Power. So you can just ramp up even faster. Like, you want them to nullify you, you want them to try to poison you, and you want them to gain a ton of power with the Overseer. That's not usually ideal for most champions, but for the Overseer, that's what you want, right? So that's why I love him so much, because he works in matchups that I wouldn't really say I want to use Human Torch for. Like, of course, Human Torch just like destroys Doom and all that, but it can always go south, you know? Like, you can just get nullified, get shocked, and then Doom just like one hits you with his heavy attack, right? With Overseer, there's literally nothing to worry about. So I feel like he's a much safer option for some fights than Human Torch, and he's just a really, really good champion overall. And yeah, we just popped the SP2 here, and that was about like a 60-second fight, I believe. Yeah, which is super good for a rank 4 Doctor Doom. Now we're going to dive into some act content just to show like where he excels the best in my opinion. Again, this is just another Man-Thing fight. I just want to show like just how good he is versus a Man-Thing against like any health pool Man-Thing. This is like a 400,000 health pool Man-Thing, I think. And like in Battlegrounds it's like 150,000, I think. I don't know. I don't really know the exact health pools of the Battlegrounds champs. I probably should though, because I have Gallon at rank 4 and like he really, really wants to like make sure that whenever he throws the SP1 in the Harvest that it KOs him, right? So I do need to like study like the health pools of the characters in Battlegrounds, but I just haven't done it yet. But anywho, look at this. Like, such incredible damage from the Overseer. Like, of course we have the plus 700 attack rating from the Act 7 node, but then again, we're just still doing so much damage here. And additionally, you saw that we were like running almost no synergy, like pretty much. We were just running, I think, was it a crit team? I think I was running that here, but like so fast. And the best part is he doesn't need any synergies at all. Like, zero synergies. He does not need any single synergy in this game. He does have something to help benefit him, like he has one with Red Skull where if they throw a special attack while they're taunted, he'll get a gamma power, right? And that's good if you're like fighting champs that don't have Nullify or don't have Poison, but other than that, it's just not really too useful because you ramp so fast already, right? So yeah, this is the Immortal Abomination fight, and Ibon with Overseer is kind of weird because you want him to throw the SP2 pretty much, because like he starts losing his poisons, and I-Bomb per poison has physical resistance, so if you like let him stay at 12 poisons, you're not going to be doing too much damage because he's just going to have so much physical resistance. But once he loses his poisons, you just do so much damage, and you just ramp up so fast. Like, Overseer is so good for these fights, man. He's such a fun champion to play as well. You're just like playing as this big massive Hulk character that has like the Tesseract, and you're just like doing so much damage. It's such a fun time. And now we have the Sorcerer Supreme on kinetic transference, and I just want to show here just how good he is versus nodes that like where there's like more power involved than usual. Like in the standard fight, you won't have like kinetic transference, you won't be able to ramp as fast, but when you have like a source of power gain, you will just get your gamma powers very fast. So, and additionally, she has the Nullify aura, right? So when she tries to nullify you, you'll get a gamma power. So we just ramp super fast in this fight, and you're gonna see here that we can just absolutely melt her. Like, so much damage. He does so much damage, especially when they don't have any physical resistance. Like, then it's perfect. Like Doctor Doom, he has so many resistances, none of them are physical, so you can just like absolutely melt Doctor Doom with the Overseer, right? And I don't know, I just really love this character, but it's mainly because of like his story. I love his story. It's so awesome to like, I watched like all the videos about like his story. It's really cool. It's a really fun time. And now we have this Doctor Doom. Like I said, Doctor Doom has so many resistances, none of them are physical, so you can just like absolutely melt the Doctor Doom. I think last season it was Conduit, right, in Alliance War, and you really like Doctor Doom as a boss was like one of the hardest characters at first to fight, just because like no one knew what they were doing, and the Overseer was just like one of the go-to counters for that, because he didn't have to knock him down too much, right? You just need to knock him down with like the SP3 in a long fight, and you can just do like a bunch of physical damage to him, which he can't regen back. So like his physical damage has a lot of uses. I'm glad he doesn't have like both physical and energy damage. Not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of those champs, just because like I'd rather have them all have like one type of damage, right? You know, like how the Overseer is entirely physical, Human Torch is like entirely energy damage. I like champs like that. I don't really like champs that like mix their damage type, because like it can just be like really not beneficial at times. And here I kind of get lucky. He gets to an SP3, but it's fine. It's fine. We can just like ignore that, right? So now we have this power snack lane, and I tried to find a buffet lane, but I just couldn't really find one. But I did end up finding one actually, and you'll see it later on in the video. And this fight is just really, really awesome for the Overseer because one, look how fast we ramp. I try to bait out a dexterity. Every dex we do, we get 2 gamma power, right? And the maximum is 6. So we already ramped up to the full. Like, that is just insane. Like, we ramp up so fast versus this node. But this node is kind of like not beneficial for the Overseer because it suppresses him, right? And so you can't push him over a bar power, so you have to get your gamma power or your fury buff by another way. So you have to like dex and then you'll get your fury buff, right? So, but just look at the damage that we're doing, man. We are doing so much. That's like 8.6k on every single light attack, and we only have the SP3 physical vulnerability. Like, the SP3 inflicts a massive physical vulnerability, and you can just do like so much more damage with it, but we don't even have that right now, and it doesn't even matter because we're just doing so much damage. Like, that was a 32k SP2. Like, he has some pretty awesome yellow numbers as well, like, to be honest, especially on the SP2. And this fight is very, very difficult for a non-mystic character. This is the Power Snack Super Scroll with the Feat of Energy. Like, there's just a lot of power gain, and while it's like mainly beneficial for the Overseer, when Super Scroll gets his SP2, it becomes a lot less beneficial because he just does so much damage through the SP2. I think it's because he has like block penetration per Fury buff, and he converts all his armor ups into Fury buffs on the SP2, so it's just going to do like a lot of damage. So you can see right here that I'm going to take the SP2 and yeah, rip half my health. Not half my health, but like a third of my health, yeah. But now we're in gamma mode, and we're doing some pretty nice damage. Super Scroll has a lot of armor ups, but armor ups can't bypass physical damage, so we can just tear through him within his armor up. So that's another thing that the Overseer has. If there's like a safeguard, if there's a bunch of armor ups, if there's like a bunch of energy resistance, Overseer doesn't care because he can just use his physical damage to plow through them anyway. So yeah, I really, really like the Overseer. I'm really happy with this rank up. I've been happy for it for like a couple months now. I just haven't really like shown y'all that I haven't like that I had him at rank 4. I just kind of like kept him secret, but he's really cool. I think he shines the most in Battlegrounds just because like that health pool is perfect for him because he can just like ramp up really fast and he just does a lot of damage in a lot of short time, right? So yeah, Battlegrounds is really great for him. Alliance War, if you do want to use him, he works really well there as well. Probably not as good as Human Torch in some fights, but in other fights where you can't really use Human Torch, Overseer will probably be the better option there. And now we have this buffet lane. Yeah, it's buffet. It's also like it also has this node called Eat Crow or something, where every time you trigger an immunity, you get a Fury buff, right? So Overseer has a lot of immunities, so you'll just trigger that very, very often, and you can just ramp so fast. Like, we're already ramped, and it hasn't been like 20 seconds even. It's been like, yeah, it's been like 20 seconds, and we're already fully ramped. And like the damage when he has extra Fury buffs is just insane. Like, look at that, 12.5k on every single light attack. It is incredible. Overseer is one of my favorite maul counters just because like he can't get nullified, so there's like no degen. You can miss though, so you have to like watch out for that. But you can just like heavy attack him anyway. The Overseer's heavy attack has like a really, really long range, so you can just like snipe him after the SP1. So it doesn't even matter, to be honest. This is another example of just how good the Overseer's physical damage is. So Mr. Sinister on crits regens like 75% of the damage taken, and it can increase up to like 100%, I think. So you don't want to crit him. And the Overseer, while he does crit, he also has like a majority of his damage being physical red numbers, right? So you can just bypass the regen pretty much because like it doesn't even matter if he regens because it's not the majority of the damage dealt. The majority of the damage dealt is the red numbers that you're seeing on your screen. So like Overseer is a very good Mr. Sinister counter because he also doesn't have any DOT, and whenever you fight Mr. Sinister, you do not want to inflict DOT because he can just like reflect it back and you'll just like die, right? But the Overseer is purely physical, has no DOT, and that was a 30k SV1 hit. So yeah, Overseer is a very, very good Mr. Sinister counter. Now, to be honest, I feel like this lane was made for the Overseer because, like, he just absolutely stomps on this lane. This is Hazard Shift, Eat Crow, and this one node where you get nullified every time you, like, land a hit. So, Yeah, it is crazy. This is crazy. You're gonna see right here just how good he is for this lane. So we're gonna go into the poison phase. We're immune to poison, so every time we get that, we get a gamma power, right? So we're ramping super, super fast, and we're getting furies because we're immune to the poisons and the nullify. So you're just gonna see how much damage we're doing here, and yeah. Insane. Like, utterly insane. 26-second fight, just, like, absolutely crazy. This is a Tiger on the same exact node, and you're just gonna see again, just, like, how good he is for this lane. So you wait out the Incinerate phase, and then you go for the Poison phase, and then you can just do so much damage in, like, such little time, and it's, like, absolutely absurd. Like, we get no crits as well, we barely get any crits, and we're still just doing so much damage. We almost run out of time on the Poison phase. Yeah, we have to, like, bait out the SP2, and then just, like, do one hit into the Incinerate phase, and then we'll be done. But here, I kind of mess up. I kind of did, like, a full combo, and then I parry, so, like, it doesn't register fully. That was really weird, but anyway, we got the fight done. Now for some boss action, I decided to go for this Spider Witch boss because it has staggering beauty, so every time you, like, get close to her, she'll inflict a stagger on you, but the Overseer is immune to stagger, so you just get a gamma power, right? So, like, nodes like this, he is very, very good for because you just, like, ramp really fast. And additionally, she's Mystic, so it's just, like, extra damage for the Overseer. And also, I have the Joe Fixit synergy, right? And this node has inverted controls on her special attacks, but you're going to see that we're immune to it, right? So we just can freely dex her special attacks. We have nothing to worry about on the reverse control spectrum, and it's just a really simple fight past that. We have to watch out for her evade, but other than that, it's nothing too bad. Additionally, you can see right there that he has a safety net on the auto block, so that's perfect. If you mess up, he can just, like, recover pretty fast. So he is a very safe champion, I feel like, because he also has, like, a massive health pool as well. So there's just a lot to love about the Overseer, right? Ton of damage, a lot of survivability. He also has, like, a regen on the SP1 that lets him regen some health as well. So he works well with the recoil masteries. And there's just, like, so much to like about this character. One of my favorite science champs for sure. I do not regret rank 4ing him at all. Honestly, I would consider rank 5ing him as well, like, because that's a thing now, and you have to, like, consider, like, who you want to rank 5 first. He would definitely be a contender. I still have to think about it, though, because there's just, like, so many characters in this game. There's, like, Kraven, there's Longshot, who honestly is the winner right now. I want to rank 5 a Longshot first, but that's for another time. I definitely want to showcase Longshot as well, because I love him so much. He's one of my favorite characters. But yeah, we're making really good time on this fight. I just hit my knee on my desk, so now it kind of hurts, but we're fine. We're fine. We're doing fine. The Overseer is doing fine. I'm doing fine. It's just a really good time for both of us. That was a lot of damage to the block, though. Dang. But yeah, we get the fight done anyway. Pretty fast time as well. I think that was like 143, which is not bad at all. Now, to close out this showcase, we have a Mangog. This is the Mangog boss in 7.4.3. He has staggering beauty as well, so we can just cheese it with the Overseer. And he also has fight or flight, but you just need to, like, stay away and then you'll be fine. And yeah, Mangog has a lot of resistances, right? But none of them are physical, I believe. So he can just, like, get destroyed by the Overseer. Which, honestly, I noticed a trend now that most Mystic champs have, like, energy resistance, right? But not physical. So you can just, like, wipe them with, like, any science champ that does physical damage. The Overseer is purely physical damage, so he just works really, really well for the most of the Mystic champs. So yeah, this fight, really, really clean. We're already at max ramp because of the staggering beauty. Like, he just ramps so fast versus these nodes. It's insane. Yeah, I really like this guy. I think I said that 3 times already, but it's fine. Yeah, also we get a Fury buff every time we, like, have the Unstoppable on us. We can just do, like, even more damage, which is perfect. And yeah, this fight's a really, really fast fight, even though it's, like, a 650k health Mangog, I believe. Mangog I've always found, like, annoying to fight just because of, like, his Unstoppable and his damage reduction as well. It's also super annoying, but we're getting through it, man. It's fine. Which, by the way, I want Mangog so badly because look at him. Look at Mangog and tell me that, like, you do not just want to hug him, right? He looks so fluffy and, like, so adorable. And I know this is off topic, but I do not care. Mangog is adorable, and I want to buy, like, a plushie of Mangog, but that doesn't exist. So it's just, like, very sad times. But anywho, we're about to finish this fight. And yeah, that wraps up that boss, and that wraps up the showcase as well. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on the Overseer. Only positive thoughts though, of course, because I like him and I don't want any slander of him. Let me know your thoughts on Mangog as well, just because like I want to see your thoughts. I want to see if you agree with me that he is like one of the most adorable characters ever. And yeah, that's about it for me.